Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, bringing you Chapter 4, Lab Rat, of my Crysis 2 Super Soldier video walkthrough. And straight away, what I would say on this section is, if you're going to try and run and gun this section, you're going to be in a hell. You're going to be in a world of trouble. It's going to be as what Clubber Lang said in Rocky 3, when all the press was around him, when they were like, "Any predictions for the fight, Clubber?" And all Mr. T had to say was one word, and we all understood what he meant. So, the best thing to do here is to drop off this ledge, go behind those cargo crates so that you can regenerate your stealth, and swim through the water. And what this is going to do, this is going to cut out all the difficult nature of this encounter. Because to your left there's a dude up on a highway, there's actually a couple of dudes on the highway, there's one guy on a 50 cal mounted gunner, there's a bunch of dudes, and there's a lot of guys, there's a lot of sentries, they respawn, they even fire off that flare which brings in reinforcements if you fuck up, so there is no point trying to risk this section because you want to be, you know, Rambo. Best thing to do, use your stealth, swim past the river and sneak into this building. It will make a potentially 10-minute epic gunfight into a 2-minute, you know, Snake Plissken infiltration. And it's that simple. So I sit here to regenerate my stealth. Be careful, sometimes the AI might patrol closer to you and it might not make that a valid point. So just be intelligent and don't rush it too quickly. And when you come in here, there's a couple of guys that patrol around, and if you rush this area too quickly, they will hear you, they will see you, and you might have to take them out. But once you're inside this, you get your checkpoint, so you've got nothing to worry about. And it's just a case of making your way to the lift in whichever way you want to do that. You can kill the dudes, you can avoid the dudes, it's entirely up to you. What I will say is, when you get to the top of this building, there is a boss fight with a helicopter. And luckily enough, I knew what I was doing when I was doing the recording run, but when I first encountered it, I had no fucking clue, and it took me about 30 minutes to kill it, so that's a little insight to what kind of mechanics you're going to be seeing. But this right here is a good strategy when it comes to any stealth game. You leave one body, the AI will always discover it, they will always do the over-dramatic, "Oh my god, there is a body on the ground over here, I wonder how this happened." And then you can use that moment of weakness in their, you know, AI structure to kill them. And you can do that on pretty much any game that involves stealth. And once you've come to this lift, it's going to take you up to the top floor where shit's going to kick off. And you're going to have to kill 3 dudes first, which is nice and simple, and then the chopper turns up. But this is Gold, the nerd slash scientist. Slash dude, he's like a wannabe Otacon on the other side of the radio for you. And at this moment in time, he thinks that you're Prophet, who's the dude from the first Crysis. And I do apologise if my Crysis canon isn't up to scale, because I didn't play the first one, because my PC struggles playing fucking Solitaire, let alone Crysis. So I have absolutely this is my first exposure to the Crysis universe. And truth be told, aside from the visuals, I thought the first Crysis looked a bit shit, because it just seemed to be, you know, like Far Cry, and I never liked Far Cry, so suppose that's just how it works, isn't it? If it comes from the same developers, they're generally going to make a game very similar to what they've made before. But once you kill these 3 dudes, you have to destroy this computer here. So do that, and this is going to spawn the chopper to come. So what I would generally do is, if you come over here, you've got your ammo dump, so you can swap out your weapons. Swap out for the Scar, which is the assault rifle, and it's got an ACOG on it, so that's going to help you with a bit of distance. And if I've not mentioned in previous videos, when you pick up weapons that have attachments you don't have, you will then be able to select those attachments on the gun, and it's a really cool feature, and it's something that I wish Call of Duty's had. But if I'm wishing when it comes to Call of Duty, I wish the single player had a leveling system where you got multiplayer ranks and unlocks and all that kind of fancy stuff, acolytes, challenges, all that bullshit, and you got them in the single player. Oh, little tip here, as soon as the chopper guy says we've lost a gunner, if you spin around and throw a grenade in that, you will kill the dudes coming up the lift and you won't have to worry about people behind you. Dead simple. And then you can go back to shooting the helicopter. But I wish there was all the, you know, the progression that you get in multiplayer, the carrot on the stick of unlocking new shit, and being able to customize your classes and all that kind of stuff. I wish that was in single player. So you could take on any of the single player levels, and you could use perks, you could use whatever weapon you want with whatever attachment you want, and I think that would give the single player so much more replayability, it'd be unbelievable. But, you know, developers these days don't really seem to give a fuck about the single player. It seems to be, how can we keep people playing our game for the next 2 years so that we rake in tons and tons of money, and we forget about why we ever started creating games in the first place. But once you kill the first form of the chopper, dudes will start appearing on the skylight. So shoot them up on the windows, kill as many as you can, and the chopper will eventually come back. Where I'm standing here is the best area to fight this boss. Always make sure you've got your armor on when you're shooting at him, because if you don't, he's gonna rape you quicker than you can say, you know, prison rape. But wait for your shield to regenerate, and then use it again. But right now, I think I've took out the second gunner, so the chopper pisses off. And what happens is, there's a ton of dudes that are going to appear on the skylight again, so stay in this room, kill them as quickly as you can, and the chopper's going to come back. But when the chopper does come back, he's going to be firing missiles, and if you don't have your armor on, they're going to kill you. So you need to be really careful, because the checkpoint is before all this started, so it's a bit of a shit checkpoint, which is another thing this game kind of sucks for, cause sometimes the checkpoints are fantastic, other times the checkpoints are just fucking hellish. So use your cloak to get advantage on these guys, pick them off from a nice cover spot over here, and if you stay in this room you shouldn't have any trouble. When it comes to the helicopter returning, you can go out into this room and use the shelves and things for cover, because you will kill him a lot quicker, but just be aware, if you don't have your shield up and those missiles come in, you're going to be seeing the reload the checkpoint sign, cause they really hurt. But it's like, there's two on that one there, there's one above me who's throwing grenades, and the luxury of this is, the AI is so retarded, they generally kill themselves with grenades, so you don't really have to do too much shooting. But it's pretty self-explanatory, but I would definitely say burst fire with these weapons. My main reason for that is because there's already idle sway, combine that with recoil, and it can be really, really inaccurate. And don't be afraid to shoot through the blinds and the windows, because your bullets will go through them. And the AI doesn't take advantage of that, because in all honesty I don't think there's anything like bullet penetration on this game, but if it's a window you can shoot through it. And if you're ever wondering when the chopper's going to come back, if you use your minimap, you will see him before he turns up, because he'll come on there. He's a nice big triangle. And here he comes. Do you see him there on the map? Big blue triangle. So the chopper's back, which means I can put my shield back on, swap to my scar, and start peppering him again. So from this vantage point, you can shoot him through that window, and that building will take the brunt of the missiles, but just watch as those missiles spiral into where we are. So be really careful and keep your shield up as much as possible. Whenever you need to recharge, if you pull back into the middle area, it will hit the opposite side of the wall and you will take no damage. And just keep repeating this until it dies, basically. Because there we go, they're asking to disengage because they're taking damage, but the general's a wanker, so he's like, no, keep shooting, and this is when we get to finish them off. So a few more bullets and you've done the section. So just unload. And I like this ACOG because it reminds me of Rainbow Six, and I really liked the ACOG on Rainbow Six. It had a little bit of rattle, but it was just a really cool looking optic. I enjoyed it a lot. And Call of Duty wise, I've never liked the ACOGs on them games. Especially Call of Duty 4, the ACOGs look fucking ridiculous. What did they do to them? But there you go. Chopper's down. First boss fight of the game. And then from here, the best thing to do is to go and pick up any ammo if you need it. Any grenades and shit. And when that's done, you go down the hole that the chopper's just made. And you can carry on with the rest of the level.
Listen, I'm sending coordinates to the suit. It's not far.
And here we go with some lovely collision detection that's stopping me from getting past scenery that isn't even in the way.
Not as powerful as the one in the lab, but it'll have to do.
But keep moving on, keep doing your thing. And when you come over here, you'll see the lovely green highlight on the padlock that you get to smash. And then we go back to doing a bit of stealth work. So for anybody that was getting sick of shooting, now we get to play ninja once more. But this area right now there is absolutely no enemies, so you can just run through this at your own leisure and just carry on. But yeah, I mentioned in my last video that I was on a Donnie Yen kick, and I basically recommended a film called Ip Man, and a little breakdown of what that film is. It's a semi-biographical events of the life of Ip Man, and this is a guy that was like one of the first practitioners of a Chinese martial art known as Wing Chun, and he went on to mentor Bruce Lee. So if you're wondering what the person it's based on's credentials are, they're pretty fucking high, because everybody knows Bruce Lee was an absolute legend. And Donnie Yen plays the title character, and it kind of starts out in, I think it's like 1930s China, when it's all, you know, fortuitous, and it's almost like Oliver Twist at the start, but with fight scenes instead of songs, because everybody's super happy, everybody's super jolly, it's all flamboyant, it's all, you know, over the top kind of stuff, and ridiculous fights that are almost tongue-in-cheek at some parts, because they don't hurt each other, because it's more about, you know, a display of skill and everything. And then midway through the film it takes a big old dive. It turns into Schindler's List when the Japanese invade China and they put it under like a big, you know, oppressive thumb. And then from then they go from living a life of luxury to working in like a coal field, like smashing rocks and shit, and not being able to practice martial arts, and living in like a one-roomed house, and it gets pretty rough. And it's a really good film. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, if you don't like watching films with subtitles, you're probably not going to get the same benefit, because if you watch a dub on a subtitled film, it's not the way to watch the film. And anime is completely different in my opinion. I've never been one of those, you know, asshole fucking conceited people that like, if I can't watch it in the original, you know, language, and I can't, you know, watch the subtitles that tell me how the characters are really feeling, I can't get the full essence of what the anime is all about. And it's nothing to do with that bullshit. That's just gay. I don't mind dubs whatsoever on anime, because at the end of the day, you can't see the fucking mouths moving. They're just opening and closing. You could put any dialogue to that, and that's generally fine. But when it comes to films, the dubs are just hilarious. They're so badly done, it's unbelievable. And I don't know why that is. It's like they seem to have every ambient noise a lot higher than it should be. So in a normal film where there's people talking in a bar, all you can hear is light musings. But in these like dubs of Chinese films, there's like a full-on conversation happening at the same time, and you don't know who to listen to, so it just becomes this fucking comedy routine. But right there, the reason why there was a nice little crossfade is because I've trimmed out a big old cutscene to make this video fit into one video. And there's no point in you watching me stand around for 4 minutes while he talks about squids. So I've trimmed it out, and what happens now is this apartment block's going to get attacked by the Crysis soldiers, so that door in front of me is going to get kicked down. The best thing to do is take it on any way you want. What I do here kind of fucks up, because I go to shoot him and it doesn't work. So there we go. Oh sorry, I go to melee him, and I double melee him, which will kill the soldier guys pretty simply. And then there's a dude straight in front who you can snipe, but I think I miss. Do I miss? How did I miss that? So yeah, now everybody knows that there's something's kicking off. You can pretty much handle this how you want, and that for me generally means staying cloaked and shooting dudes in the face. So, pop that dude down, and then just cruise through here. And this isn't challenging, you shouldn't have any problems with it. It's just a couple of rooms with a couple of soldiers, and they're all pretty dumb, so take advantage of that. And then when you move to a window, you're going to get attacked by a dude, and you're going to see my favourite cutscene of the game. But keep pushing through this building, keep checking for dudes, and come over here, and this is the cutscene that I really like. So once again guys, thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. I hope they're proving useful, and then as always, you take care now.